Welcome, audience. As you know, I am Brandon Perry, and joining me today, unlike all the other Dishonored teams I've ever done, we have a guest. Say hello to Gwen.
Hi, Gwen.
And as I said in the Twitter chat, we are going to continue our run of Dishonored. Where we last left off, we were en route to the Addermeyer Institute to deal with the Crown Killer, with the help of its head, Miss Addermeyer. I forget her first name.
I don't remember. It's been like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I like her though. She's really cool.
Yeah, we'll get to her when we get there. Now, oh yeah, now I remember. I was trying to get this Ruin and Bone Charm from the Overseers. Would help if I didn't alt tab.
Oh, this room. This is good. This is good. What power set do you have?
Oh shit! What was that? Sounded like broken glass.
What powers do I have? I've got a couple so far. I've mostly got I'm mostly getting some passives like reflexes and agility, and I have far-reaching.
I guess this isn't a ghost playthrough.
This is what I like to call an improvisation run, which is let things happen as they go.
Okay.
Hey, you! Run!
And we are also playing on hard, which explains why I died in 2 hits.
Ah, okay. I haven't seen you die yet, but okay, there you go.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that like my audio will be in time with the stream feed, but you're hearing me 5 seconds in the future. Oh man, I don't miss stream lag.
Stream lag.
Hey, you! You wanna go anywhere?
Okay,
How
so
dare you!
let me see. Edge of the world.
Shame on you!
Oh shit! There's like 20 people out there.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do you have any? I'm gonna...
Gun! She's got a gun! Oh. Is that it? Okay. What's going on here?
You can't stay hidden forever.
I sure can. Yoink. Alright, so that was mildly successful. Finesse and style, Gwen, you understand. Finesse
I will find you, you know.
and style.
I've never heard of those words in my life.
What's a version of far-reaching? Nope.
What about the down?
Nope, can't grab that. I don't think I've ever gotten that bone charm in any of my runs in this game.
Don't maybe search the whole place.
I remember getting it, but I don't think I actually did the far reach thing to get it. I don't remember how I got it. But I do remember getting it.
I'm gonna turn the game down a little bit too. It's still loud on mine. I don't know if guys in the audience, let me know if this game is a bit loud on your end too.
Come on, show yourself. We're all waiting for you. We need to find something. Anything.
Alright, and this should be neutral territory. Serves. At least the guard shouldn't come this way.
Count me in.
You're armed to the teeth.
Oh, did you already go down the basement back there?
I don't have the quest. I didn't talk to the lady before I went over there.
Oh no.
It's okay. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Oh, the
carriage railroad.
Sarkonos players. Or, not Sarkonos, where are they?
We'll have to try Addermeyer Station.
The what players?
This should take me out to the Institute.
What city are we in? Karnaka. The Karnaka players? The ones who play in the street and bus?
Oh yeah.
Those are my favorite. Oh my god.
Yeah, all that quest does is for the chat, reference, Gwen's referring to a quest where if I talk to a female quest giver earlier in the level, I can take one of the bodies in the Overseer's office, dump it for her, give it a proper burial, and she'll de-electrify this rail right here so I can just walk across it.
Yeah, Mindy Blanchard, and she's the coolest person because she's the leader of a gang, if I remember correctly. She is an artist, and she does tattoos, and in addition to that, she's a trans lady. She's rad as hell.
I think I just saw something.
She's also dating a gangster you meet later in the game, and you can actually find their correspondences.
Oh,
It's
cool.
really cute.
That part I didn't know. I'm surprised they didn't see me. Oh, Wall of Light. I forgot about you. It's okay. Is there anything in there that's worth pilfering? It's like not really.
Yes, I think there's a bone charm? At least in there somewhere.
It doesn't say it's in there. There is a rune, but I'll get plenty of those later. I might try to...
If you turn around, you can actually go in through the window over there.
Oh,
to the left.
yeah, you're right. That is open.
Be careful, that's a guard office though, so it's entirely full of city guards.
That's fine.
Sure reeks. Gotta get a spare uniform.
Did I close my locker before coming out? Last time I left it open, someone left a hagfish in my jacket pocket.
You're good. We're good. For some reason they don't... Okay, now they see.
Oh boy.
Oh, well.
Is that a person no, it's not a person. There's no person at the window. No. Oh. It's weird how there's just like a floating sword hanging sideways on the window.
Time to collect this bounty.
We are being very discreet.
Extra murdery today.
It's only a few bodies. It's fine. I'm still gonna get low chaos because I didn't kill enough people.
I mean, they are cops, so...
Yoink. Anything else here worth nabbing? Not really. Oh, Bone Charm's kind of close. Oh, I could get the Bone Charm in the vault for the vault code challenge, but nah, I already have the Bone Charm I actually want. I got Strong Arms, my very first Bone Charm in this game.
Nice.
Which is like the only one that you ever actually truly need.
You want to get Spirit Water if you can get it.
I think I might, let me check. I might actually have that.
Spirit Water is really good.
Spiritual Pool. No, that's different. Yeah, I don't have that. But that's. I'm not too worried about the charm effects at this point. Like, literally, the only one I ever truly need is Strong Arms. The rest is just gravy.
Have you beaten this game before?
Oh, I've beat. This is my third time. No, sorry, fourth time playing this game.
No one knows what
Okay,
happened.
so
Could be anything.
I assume you've already fucked
Watch
around
my
with
back.
the Bone Charm.
Bone Charm crafting is so good.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yes.
mandatory. It's a mandatory thing you need for powers.
Yeah, it is so good. God, it's just it completely breaks the game in amazing ways.
And that should be.
So chat, how's everyone doing tonight?
Hey, Joey. Let's go to Addermire. That should do it. Nicole, how are you doing today? There we go. Oh, I did kill someone and I was seen, so I only got a little stealthy and a little non-lethal. But I think I still have low chaos overall, yeah. Still overall
Hostiles
low
killed
chaos.
5, bodies detected 7. How did you manage that?
Some things Some things didn't go as planned. Oh, actually, I guess the bodies must have been seen twice. How does that work? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I see what you mean, because I have only 5 kills, but 7 bodies were found, which means either they were bodies I didn't kill, or...
I wonder if knockouts are considered bodies.
Oh, you know what they are, yeah.
Okay.
People freak out at unconscious bodies as well as they do dead ones.
Okay.
Which, you know, fair.
Weird, Joey. Why are you sleeping on the floor?
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah, the kill due to no sleep darts. I remember that.
The Addermeyer
because the
Institute of
overseer's in the
Infectious
chair, and
Disease.
there is no way to choke someone cleanly out of a chair.
Alexandria Hypatia, chief alchemist.
That's like
So you,
Once it was a solarium
what
for
you do in that
recuperating
situation is you
aristocrats.
look around,
Now
find a
it's a place
chloroform
of
bottle, and
alchemical
throw it at
study.
them.
The crown
Oh, you're
killer's
right.
taking
Thrown
lives in
objects
my
do
name
knock
and
people
has to
out.
be
I forgot
stopped.
about that. I never used thrown objects.
It's
I
my
just don't.
hope
It doesn't ever
that
occur to me.
Hypatia can explain.
It's not even thrown objects.
They say
There
she's
are bottles
brilliant
of chloroform
and
all over the
altruistic.
game to counteract the fact that
Well
you can only
respected
carry
across
so many sleep
Serkonos.
darts. Chloroform actually knocks people out if they walk into an area where it's been shattered. If I remember
Hypatia,
correctly,
Alexandra Hypatia. That's her name.
Hypatia. Okay.
Addermeyer Institute.
I can't remember if reagents actually wake people up. I think they do, but I'm not sure. But I know for a fact that chloroform bottles literally knock people out if you just throw it and it crashes near someone. Or they walk into an area where it was just broken.
So
I
our
did it a lot with
objectives in this map are twofold. Our first is to talk with Alexandria Hypatia and figure out what she knows about the Crown Killer. And then objective 2 is to take out the Crown Killer.
Vanguard personnel, remember, the back
Which, honestly, when I played this game the first time, I was kind of perplexed as to why we're doing the Crown Killer so early.
Yeah, that was weird.
It felt like they were building up to this, like, really, like, big, like, secondary
I
antagonist
never
almost.
went down here.
And then, nothing.
I never went under the dock. I didn't even know you could do that.
The first thing I do with level is I look at the heart and have the heart tell me what things, where everything is, and then I saw the bone charm under there from the heart. Yeah, but there's a little alcove down here you can just climb down.
Yeah, you basically, you basically never need to use explosive or fire arrows in bloodfly nests, as long as you're smart with all the liquor they give you to throw at them.
I just sorted most of them, actually.
Oh yeah, I just sword them. Yeah, but then you take damage, and then no one
That's-
wants to take damage.
That's true. That's true. Especially in this difficulty. We're playing with high damage, but easy stealth.
Ah, okay.
Custom difficulty, which,
Oh,
by the way, amazing
that-
feature. More games need that.
That explains why,
But you never know.
that explains why they weren't seeing you when you were just standing in the window.
Yeah. I do have it, though, so that, like, when I'm peeking out, I am visible.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on here. After last night, I'm sure of that. I saw something. Whatever I saw.
You're gonna want to go inside and stop that one woman from getting,
Before I got transferred
pushed
to Addermeyer, I
into
saw one of the Crown
the
Killer crime
door of
scene.
light, the wall of light.
Whoever tore
I
that
don't
old
think that
couple
triggers until
apart, they
after I've
were
actually
enjoying
started
it.
hearing their dialogue.
So what do you think then?
Ah, okay.
I don't know.
Oh, you're
Coming
right.
back
They're
at
just
dawn.
standing there. Okay.
Yeah, they're
much
just standing
is
there
the
waiting
blood
for me
on
to
the
actually start
windows?
listening to them.
I don't know what to think. Maybe the Duke found some new bear or
So I
paint
could
from
just, I
Bendicia.
could probably shoot it from here.
Keeps me up at night just thinking about it.
Yeah, I'll say, I'll take care of these
Kobe.
guards first, though.
No, Kobe it.
Okay, sure, let's go for it. Let's be bold.
I'll search with you.
Oh, cool. Didn't kill him, but got the job done.
You don't stand a chance anymore.
How did no one see or hear that?
Very quiet.
Very quiet. Dun, dun.
The sound of bones crunching on the floor. Does it make a sound if there's no one else to hear it?
I wonder who that was.
I actually enjoy in this game how the drop assassination is actually super loud, or the non-lethal version of it is actually really fucking loud.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like that's a good trade-off for not doing the kill, is that you are very, very loud to compensate, whereas a silent assassination is relatively quiet.
You know what I'd like to see in a hypothetical Dishonored 3?
Shoot.
I want to see them bring the did you play Thief 4, the reboot?
Elementally.
What do you mean?
Okay, in Thief 4,
Oh yeah, I played the fourth. Yes.
Okay,
I
yeah,
I
the
hate
fourth.
that game, but it had some cool ideas.
It had some cool ideas. It was a bad game, but it had some really cool ideas. Oh man, I kind of wish you would have like grabbed him and then threw him, and he would have went off the railing. But anyway, it's the fourth.
What was that?
Thief 4. It had a cool idea where when you're trying to transition from dark area to dark area, wow, you should keep doing that. Ooh.
It wasn't intentional.
But when you transition from area to area, you have a move called a swoop. It's
Yeah.
Yeah. And because you're trying to go from dark area, shadow to shadow without staying in the light very long. So you
Hello?
use the swoop and it kind
Anybody?
of transitions you there really
Don't
quickly.
maybe search the whole place.
And it's a really cool movement
Time for
ability,
that.
and I would like to see that somehow adapted into the movement abilities. Maybe not like the proper blink or far rate.
Well, the thing
replacement.
is, if memory serves, that was actually their answer to Blink, was the swoop mechanic.
Oh yeah, no, it absolutely was.
Because
I'm just saying,
they were trying to make a similar mechanic for Dishonored, or for Thief, but they don't have supernatural power, so they can't really do that literal interpretation.
Yeah. Well, no, what I'm saying is I want to see that as like a general human ability, like, oh, you can move really fast.
Or you mean
between
like that's just a thing that they can do even if you have
Yeah.
like, the no powers run going?
Exactly. I want to see that combined with a magical movement ability. Like, I think that would be really cool.
Oh, I can see that. I feel like I also want them to keep the mana system that Billy Lurk had in Death of the Outsider. Not to talk too much about that game since they're going to play it after this.
Oh, absolutely. No mana is better. Like, just
Yeah.
infinite regen mana is so good.
So, let's go right around. Actually, no. Memory serves, the pylon is actually just right above us. Right over there. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gone down here until after I finished the level and was exiting and cleaning stuff up. I usually go to the very top.
I mean, that's a good strategy in stealth games to always keep the height advantage. It's a solid plan. But yeah, going back to the conversation about the Crown Killer, it feels like this was kind of half-baked, which is honestly a lot of my problem with Dishonored lore, or Dishonored storytelling, is that like there's a lot of really cool shit that they talk about, and a lot of cool ideas, but a lot of it feels underdeveloped, or
I feel like Dishonored 2 in particular is pretty egregious about that. Not necessarily the lore so much as the general storytelling in 2 is much weaker than in Death of the Outsider, Knights of Dunwall. I don't know necessarily about Dishonored 1 because I still despise that it had Corvo not talk, and that really hurt its storytelling.
Did you hear the story about that actually? Why Corvo doesn't talk?
Why?
They realized at the very last possible minute that Corvo sounds kind of like a psychotic asshole when he has no voice.
Yeah, because he is.
And they tried to give him a voice, but by the time that they realized this mistake, it was way too late, and they were already like almost shipping. So they couldn't get a voice actor in the booth in time to actually do the voice for Corvo. Which
That
is
makes
why
sense.
like they corrected that in the DLCs because they had the time to do that in the DLC, so they gave Michael Madsen the ability to have they gave Michael Madsen a lines for his character.
Yeah.
I used to feed them to the dogs, but I'm not allowed to go to the
Did they do Dishonored 1 HD remaster for PS4?
Times are hard.
Yeah, they did the definitive edition for it, yes.
Oh damn! I was gonna say if they ever do that, because I didn't know if they'd done that. I was gonna say if they ever did do that, I'd like them to go back, take Steven Russell, and have him do a full voiced Corvo thing.
I think it's a literal port of the PC version of the game, with all the
probably.
DLC in it.
I would really like to see Dishonored 1 redone. Like, everything's the same except you adjust the dialogue a bit and have Corvo actually talk like Emily.
And retcon the hell out of Piero bath scene, please.
Yes, please. Just remove that, please. Thanks.
And find something for Lady Boyle that's not what they did.
Become a sex
What they
slave.
did,
Let's
yeah.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Like even like before I was aware of like social issues that rubbed me the wrong way.
It's so gross. And like,
to the point where even in my most non-lethal runs of Dishonored 1 to this day, I always go for lethal option for her because I find it preferable.
yeah.
I find it preferable when she's dead than the alternative.
I go out of my way to murder her, and then I also make sure I murder the dude who's like, oh yeah, I totally just want to keep her as a pet. That's cool, right?
And you'll never see her ever again.
You know, I think I'm good. In fact, I'm gonna cut your dick off.
I'd like to see her buy the drink. Just one time. Is that too much to ask?
So,
Hey, what happened here?
also in addition to like adding Steven Russell in, maybe retconning a few bad points, I'd really like to see them add non-lethal options for Corvo. I don't know how that would really change Dishonored 1 though, because like, you could add in like the powders and stuff from Dodd's campaign that lets him be more non-lethal. But I worry if, since the game was already balanced around being lethal,
It was, yeah. Because that's the thing with Dishonored 1 is that like.
it's hyper lethal. Yeah. I
Well,
wonder if that
it's
would
very like
pop up
they
down.
actually talked this in a couple design talks. The non-lethality options were almost all last minute, all of them.
Yeah, so I don't know how that would actually affect the game balance, and if it would even matter, because Dishonored's all about making your character super OP, so like, you know, who cares, I guess.
I used to feed them to the dogs, but I'm not allowed to go to the kennel anymore.
I would like to see, if I remember correctly, Dishonored 1 did not have New Game Plus, and it didn't have,
It did not.
it didn't have customized difficulty options, did it?
That's correct, and that's the same for the Dowd DLC as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see both of those added in a hypothetical, like...
In the hypothetical scenario where we're going back to Dishonored 1 ever again.
Duke of Serkonos.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know, maybe in 10 years when they eventually do remaster.
Yeah, I remember back when I played Thief, the Thief reboot, I thought this cosmic felt with the idea, like, this game is garbage, but this is something that more games need to do.
Yeah.
This is a cool concept for an otherwise really bad game.
So, Thief was such a fucking mess, but like, there's so many cool mechanical ideas in it.
Yeah.
One thing it did was the way you steal things. Every single time you see your hands reach out, grab the thing, pick it up, examine it, put it in your pocket. And sure, it's a little time consuming, but it feels so good.
You say time consuming, but I remember looting bodies in Far Cry 3.
Okay,
I remember
fair.
that. That's time consuming.
Well, also like just the
Who's there?
the general lockpicking felt so good in Thief. Like, Thief was a mess, but it felt really good to play.
Just resting.
I mean, if you do it, like, here's the true disappointing part about Thief is that the best part of that game was the bank heist mission, and that's pre-order bonus.
I bought that as DLC like earlier this year, but I haven't played the game since launch. I need to go back and try this one because I want to play the
I'll
bank heist.
check around here.
Whoops.
Um,
I need to use
what I would
more.
What I would like to
Once
what I would
that
like to
watchtower
see
is down,
in the
Megan can pick me up.
theoretical possibility of Dishonored 1 ever coming back around with like a HD version, I guess. I would like to see them add female guards. Like they did that starting in the dog DLC, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because
They realized,
Hello?
oh, our game's pretty
Anybody?
misogynistic.
Don't make me search
and the
whole
thing is
place.
that
I don't
Harvey
have time
Smith,
for
when
that.
he was told about that, he was kind of shocked because he's generally a good person in real life.
Oh yeah, Harvey
Just
Smith is-
it's literally a bunch of oversights that came together to result in some really bad feeling things.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just like assumptions that male game devs tend to make because they're dudes.
Yeah.
And they don't think about these things.
And when he was
Because
called,
it's
and then
not-
he's like, "Okay, you're right. Let's
You're
fix
right, how do we
this."
fix this? Yeah, exactly, and it's great. I like it.
Yeah.
I would like to see them patch that in to the base game.
I don't know like how eager they'd be to even go back to Dishonored 1.
Oh, I mean, they're probably not. Especially with how bad 2 that The Outsider Prey all sold.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping Arcane doesn't become another Visceral. Throw him
Uh,
off the railing! Throw him off the railing! No.
Bethesda's pretty good with their studios, relatively speaking. So I'm not terribly worried for them.
Every time you grab someone from behind near a railing, I want you to just throw them off of it.
Trying to be non-lethal. I'm not succeeding at it, but I'm trying to be.
Just throw someone off the railing for me.
Just want that rune right there. That's all I just want it. I want it. It's the
Go look
stun
for a
mines.
chloroform bottle.
Is there a chloroform bottle? I actually don't look for
We're
them.
in a medical institute. There has to be one somewhere.
There's a coin of 2. Ooh, I have a better idea.
So, chat, if you were to bring back Thief, the series, in a reboot of the reboot,
My nerves are
how would you do it?
something unsavory going on.
Hard times,
I'm getting
hard
good and
times.
drunk after
Gotta be
this.
on the lookout.
Hey, who are you? Body?
How
Here?
did you not?
Let's see how you. She's wounded. Let's finish her.
What?
I'll be wiping off your blood. No use
Come
running.
back here.
That's not right.
No! Damn it!
You won't get away. I've got you.
I just want to throw a grenade.
Take this!
Or just grab it and run.
Take it!
Oh no!
There we go. Whew. You know, this game is fun when you don't save scum it. Just let things
Yeah.
happen as they do. Let's see if I can actually afford anything. I think I might start going down the bone charm crafting route soon, but I need to get shadow form before we get to the clockwork manor to make things a little easier.
I don't think I used Shadow Walk once in my playthroughs.
It's good because it lets you walk through vents.
Huh.
Like Corvo with the rats.
Yeah. So does Corvo have his? I've never played Corvo in Dishonored 2. Does he?
He
have
has his
Dishonored
entire
1 kit?
arsenal.
Okay, so he doesn't have new abilities or different abilities.
He has upgrades to his abilities. Like he has, for example, Dowd's version of Link.
Yeah, I know that, but like anything else, or did he get new abilities? Or
Um,
is it still just the Dishonored 1 kit?
He has the Dishonored 1 kit, but the Dishonored 2 passives. He has bone charm crafting and all that, like as passives, but he doesn't have any new abilities. It's just his old kit.
Okay. I like how that guy fell. His legs are just splayed out under
Just
him.
keep it. You can start going to your office. which is good because a lot of the ruins and shit are at the top of this building.
The key might be
So
in
you
Hypatia's
actually
office.
don't need to unlock that door down there. Just make a noise and let the guard come to it and unlock it.
I'm trying to be sneaky.
Get out of the way before he comes.
I'm not succeeding at it, but I'm trying to be.
I typically like to play loud but non-lethal because it's a fucking pain in the ass to do.
I mean, my very first run of this game was Ghost non-lethal.
Oh, I am not good enough to do that. Especially like with Flesh and Steel. I can't do that.
That was my second run, was Flesh and Steel.
Flesh and Steel is so hard. I can't do it. Also,
So
you
here's
don't
the
get
secret. It doesn't take skill. It takes takes a lot of perseverance.
and patience, which I
Yeah.
don't have.
The secret is that I am bad at video games. I'm okay with trying things over and over again until I get it right. If there's anything over here, I don't think so. So I'm just kind of going to go on the other side.
My default is I try not to kill people, and I'll typically go quiet until I fuck up, and then I'll just say fuck it and go loud for the entire level.
You breathe through your skin?
I breathe through my skin.
There are runes in a black bone terminal in that area. So.
Go to the roof. Keep going up. Keep going up. I think my favorite areas in all the Dishonored games is when you go up as high as you can and there's all these little like crawl spaces and little mechanical houses that like presumably no one ever goes to except the people who installed it.
Yeah. There's an outsider shrine over here. How the hell did that happen? What the hell? Man, Far Reach is weird. Anyway, here's a shrine. I love the shrine give you 2 rooms in this game as opposed to just 1.
Say hello to my son.
I so enjoy
My
watching
son.
history warp as words pass from the lips of one
Yeah,
to the ears of another.
the fact that he's animated in this as opposed to like arms folded staring down at you and just on
Poorly
one
remembered.
really does help.
In the years to come, the story
It
of
also
the
helps that
Crown
he's
Killer will be
Penguin from
twisted
Gotham,
and
who is
bent,
very cute.
hammered like soft metal. By some accounts,
I
a
love
monster
Robin Lord
that had to be
Taylor.
put down.
I also love The
By
Outsider.
others, a victim of
The Outsider
treachery,
got a lot more interesting designer too and onward.
because in the end,
He's
you
always
found
been
another way.
interesting. His animations just
But you'll always remember the
and his
truth,
voice actor
won't
was
you?
Prince Victor.
Your truth, at least.
Yeah, I mean the voice actor delivery was the pits in the first game in DLC. I might have enough for Shadow Wall.
I didn't hate it, but he was an asshole, so whatever. You know.
We'll leave the first version for now, and now we'll start getting bone charm crafting. Because once we start crafting bone charms, folks, this shit gets broken.
Honestly, I didn't use a lot of Emily's kit. I didn't use Doppelganger. I didn't use the weird stone one where people are like gazing at it and can't look away.
Mesmerize?
Mesmerize, yeah. And I didn't use Shadow Walk.
So here's the thing about Dishonored, is that my very first run of the very first game was stealth, non-lethal, mostly flesh and steel. And when you've played a game like that, you realize that this game can be completed without any of the powers. The powers aren't really important. They're just kind of like helpful tools you can use.
Mm-hmm.
And once you realize that, it's hard to do like anything but like blinking everywhere.
I don't have time for that.
Because that was my Siren 1 playthrough was. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah, the movement powers are easily some of the best parts.
Kneel down to your betters.
I still like Corvo's blink better than God's too.
I don't know why.
It's just better. I don't like having to freeze in time.
You don't have to
sure
if you don't want to. You can still do the old blink.
No, but you have to press another button to do it.
No, you don't.
You have to press. Don't you have to like press F or something to cancel the time freeze?
No, you move and time moves once you do that. Yeah. Val's blink is just like as long as you're not moving, time isn't moving. But if you move, then time is back to its normal course.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to have to super hot it. Like I like being able to take my time and like placing it exactly where I want, but I don't want.
But that's the whole point of the time freeze is you can do that.
But I don't want the world to freeze around me. I want the pressure of the world going on while I'm hemming and hawing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Like, maybe I'm gonna get seen by a guard while I'm hemming and hawing where I'm gonna place my blink. But also, I want to be able to hem and haw where I place my blink at the same time.
I mean, you can still do that when time is stopped.
Yes, but you can't get caught by guards and stuff. You can't, like, oh, I took too long and now I fucked up.
That's a good thing.
That's not for me. I like it. It's more dynamic.
Okay, fair. Unfortunately, in this game, that's an optional upgrade. So, like, if you play as Corvo and you have his blink, the Dow blink is an optional upgrade to it. You don't actually have.
Oh, so okay, so you don't have to use the dog blink. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's not it's an upgrade path for blink.
Okay, so I thought it was going to be the default where his blink is just automatically dog blink.
There we go.
No one ever told me that. So I just never bothered using Corvo's kit.
I mean, you shouldn't be using Corvo's kit anyway. You should be using Corvo.
Well, yeah, because this is Emily's game.
Also, New Game Plus gives you both kits.
I know.
Which is...
But I never bothered with it because I didn't know it wasn't automatically Dod's blink.
Yeah. Like, when I play with New Game Plus, I'll just swap out Far Reach for Blink, and then literally play as almost the exact same kit.
Well, Far Reach is just... It's a cool ability.
If you know how to work it, it can work miracles.
Yes, you can launch yourself clear across the map with it. But it's also got a really high bell curve, or you know what I mean?
It's got a high skill ceiling, but also a very high skill floor.
Yes. Like, getting the hang of it is hard, but, you know, once you got it, you can do a bunch of shit.
So we just found Hypatia's key, and,
I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of chloroform on those.
they're reagents.
Ah.
So now we gotta find the Crown Killer. I think her office is one level above. Oh, whoops.
Hey, go pick up one of those. Go back to the reagents. I want to see you throw one at someone who's unconscious.
Let's give it a shot.
I can't remember if they actually wake them up or not.
It did nothing.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Also, how are you doing today, chat? Chat's been quiet, which is weird.
Cat cell nuclear was like Yeah, that's probably the best description of the two I've seen, E-Call. Oh boy.
I don't have any. Oh, I don't have any explosives, so.
Go look for.
This is going to be tricky.
Or we could do that.
Yeah, you can just shoot the hives. I've done the most reliable strategy.
So, I don't know about you, but whenever I killed out these nests, I went out of my way to kill every single last
Well,
whitefly.
you have to, otherwise it's impossible to fucking walk around.
No, because sometimes they'll just go up against a wall and stay there. But like,
I clear them out enough so that they stop swarming.
no, I mean I hunt them all down throughout the entire game. I will spend like 20 to 30 minutes hunting the door to make sure they're all dead. I really hate bloodflies. They're so gross.
But really, really perfect for the setting. Like, this is perfect
Oh,
for
absolutely.
Kanaka.
They just like, it's trypophobia plus general insect gross house.
Insectophobia?
Yeah, if that's what it's called, I don't know what it's called, but I don't like bugs. Basically, they all have to die, no exceptions.
I'm running low on bullets. I have use for them.
You know what's infinite?
Sword.
Yes.
Good old-fashioned tactic. The amber will get sorted.
I don't like those nests.
We're taking
So
care
what
of them.
what I never understood, they make the nests out of people and living animals, right?
I believe so, yeah. Like they make amber like this, but then they also, like the Weeper equivalent of this game are, like
Yeah.
blowfly nests.
Yeah. So like, the nests we see are not the kind we saw in the intro. I don't know if you remember, when the game was originally announced, there was a CGI video that showed the bloodflies the first time, and they emerged from a nest they made in someone's body. And they repurposed their body into like a fleshy kind of... they repurposed the person's body into a fleshy kind of nest, and then you could see where like the flesh was turned into those conical shapes. Which, this is all grossing me out, but I'm gonna keep talking about
Hey,
it.
spirit water!
Yes! Spirit
Free
water!
from Mountain restores mana.
Yes! The best one!
But yeah, you're right, E-Call. Once you kill enough of them, they stop swarming, like just like the rats in the first game. So you at that point, just kind of let go. Close this door so they don't come out.
Can you... Oh shit, you can see people's bodies in them. Okay, that was the question I was originally getting at. I was gonna ask, what is with this weird brown, like, paper substance everywhere that they make the nests out of now? Because, like, that's clearly not bodies. So I wonder, is it like a dirt dauber where they, like, pile things onto the nest on top of the people at the center?
So this is a really cool set piece we're about to take part in.
I've gotten something under my fingernails again.
I have never played this section of the game. I have no clue what's gonna happen. I
There's
swear.
one of the loudest pictures of Hypatia. Yoink. Money.
Wait, did she not see you when you walked past?
Oh, she's a friendly NPC at this point. She didn't see me, she doesn't care. She's neutral as of right now. This is Hypatia Alexandra. I can talk.
I didn't know you could walk up to her. Like, I didn't know you could walk around her. I've never done that.
Yeah, well, remember, the conceit of this mission is that, like, she is someone who might be able to help you find who the Crown Killer is.
I'm sorry.
That's the premise.
I should know that.
I'm here to ask you about something.
Do you
so-
cover your face because you were hurt?
we talked to her.
The afflictions we treat here are more
hoping to
common
find
than anyone likes to
who the
admit.
crown killer
I'm not
is.
here for treatment. I'm looking for Anton Sokolov.
Sokolov. Yes, he was here for a short time, but she took him away to see Kirin Jindosh. Do you hear something?
What about the Crown Killer? The patient of yours?
The Crown
You
Killer.
never saw this?
Name came from the newspapers.
No, I did.
I'm
see
afraid
it,
I
though.
don't.
Facetious.
Oh yes, the
I was
murders.
being facetious
I was in
with that.
Dunwall, studying diseases found among whaling crews. Wait, did someone just call me? I've been forgetting things. The Crown Killer is an interesting case. I feel
No,
almost
but
sure
I
could
honestly
help with
didn't
that.
know you could like
It's
just,
just
openly
I
walk
used to
around
do such
her.
good work, and now my memory is failing me.
Like, I
Who is
did
that
confront
calling
her,
me?
but I.
Excuse me.
Ew. Dead bird.
Yeah, but as of right now, she is a neutral NPC. So we can just walk around her willy-nilly.
Something is terribly wrong.
Yeah, I never had this conversation with her. I never met her as an NPC like this. That's crazy.
But if you go in the back,
She would say that.
Which is what I immediately did without her seeing me.
oh, I see what happened now. That makes sense.
Yes.
And the scene you're talking about doesn't trigger until we actually talk with him. So we're gonna fiddle around
Yes.
first, and you'll see why in a moment, chat. If you don't know already, I'm betting most of you already do.
You just gonna leave those jelly deals?
I don't need the health right now.
Are you all right?
Dr. Hypatia did this. She's the Crown Killer. But she's not herself. She developed a serum trying to help the miners. The first version
So yeah,
caused
Dr. Hypatia
horrible
is the crown killer.
changes
She
to her
is,
mind. It's
she's
too
not
late for
herself,
me.
essentially.
But maybe you can still
What
save
I've never
her.
gotten is this
She's
is like
a
way
good person.
more forgiving of
can I
her
do?
than you would
In my
ever
safe.
imagine.
In
Yeah.
disease treatment.
Well,
Like,
You'll-
if I was in
in the
his
same
position,
way
I'd
a
be like, "Get me the
psychiatrist
fuck
knows
outta
that
here."
that someone who attacked
Killer
him might
serum.
not be of the sound mind
Help her.
time they attacked him, and that's why.
the safe code
Oh,
is
absolutely, but I'd be
902.
telling you, get me the fuck out of here.
And that is Grim Alex.
I've always wondered what your flesh tastes like, my dear assistant.
And so, see if we got. Yeah, we have a safe code now, 902 for his office. And we have the knowledge that our target is Hypatia
I'm
herself.
hungry. Promise me another muscle gardener from the Grand Palace.
So I assume we're gonna save her?
Naturally.
She's gone.
We could just
What happened?
kill her and be done with it, but the non-lethal version is to cure her of the madness that makes her the crown killer.
So I don't... Have you ever done lethal for Hypatia?
Even on my lethal run, I chose not to do lethal for her.
You have an ongoing battle with her that, if I remember correctly, you have to stab her multiple times. It's not just an assassination, it's a knockdown dragout.
Oh, interesting. I forgot that, like, that makes sense because it seems like the serum gave her superpowers almost.
Yeah. You basically have to Deadpool her, like she keeps coming after you after a stab. If I'm remembering correctly, again, it's been like a year or 2 years since I played this. I haven't played it since launch.
Yeah, I've played this a couple times, but I've never actually gone to kill her because I don't want to. She seems like a nice enough person.
Hamilton in there?
Oh yeah,
How
but
is
I
He's losing
I
it.
did the thing where
More
you
nonsense for
save,
hours.
you do the
Could
bad
you
thing, and then you
understand any
reload.
of it?
And you
Oh,
Being
okay.
attacked by a monster one.
Because I just wanted to see how
So
it played
used
out, and I
to
didn't want to
suck
do a whole
brains
nother
out of
run
his skull.
for it.
I see.
Fair. I can respect
Keep
that.
this to yourself, will you? No need to spread silly rumors.
Of course, ma'am.
Let's find out if I can make him see reason.
Alright. You don't have to be awake any longer.
Oh, if only something would
Take a nice nap. You too, actually. You just take a nice sleepy sleeps. I dislike the momentum that Far Reach gives you, because it's hard to like use it to sneak behind someone like you would with Blink.
So in Dishonored 1, there was a glitch where if you killed guards by cutting them in half at the torso, they would still be alive, and that their legs would be running around doing their normal body animations trying to attack you, but they can't attack you because they're dead, and they have no upper body.
Nice.
That's still in Dishonored 2? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
It was the
Not with their
funniest
new
thing in the
Void
world.
engine.
Yeah, it's a different engine, not Unreal 3. If I'm honest,
I'm not seeing things.
I think I like Dishonored 1's look better.
Yes and no.
I mean, Dishonored 2 is gorgeous. Death of the Outsider is gorgeous. The new engine's fine. It's not bad at all. It's just... I think they lost something switching between the engines because it doesn't look as much... It's like the difference between acrylics and watercolors. Dishonored 1 was very much watercolors. Dishonored 2 and Death of the Outsider is acrylics.
I can see what you're coming up with that. There's also, I like that they do the thing where they associate in the level itself bone charms and runes with the bloatflies. Like there are a lot, like there are an inordinate amount of runes and bone charms that are next to bloatflies, just like there were with the rat plague in Dishonored 1, because they are both the result of void tampering. Like neither one of them are a natural phenomenon.
Well, the bloodflies and the rat plague both come from the Dark
Hopefully it's
Continent,
inside.
which I guess I've never liked that because that's a really loaded racist term for Africa from early colonialism. But also, I mean, this entire series is kind of very evocative.
I mean, there's a subplot in this series of like every part of nature is lethal and trying to kill you.
Well, yes, but oh god, I can't remember the Pangea analog.
Panacea?
Panacea, that's right.
Which literally means all pains.
Yes. So, Panacea is massive, and it's where the bloodflies and the bull rats came from. And basically, it's implied that there is both a fallen advanced civilization somewhere on the continent, as well as the void in some way is responsible for the way the bloodflies and the rat plague came about on the Pendician continent, because it's very tied to the Pendician continent.
She leaves and comes
back. And like
bloody footprints.
The wolves or like the dogs in this world are like a mix of like our dogs and our crocodiles. Like they're very vicious creatures.
I never made the crocodile connection, but yeah, that.
You look at their snouts, yeah, it's like a crocodile snout.
That tracks.
It's you.
I would really like a theoretical Dishonored 3 to potentially be set in a expedition to Panacea. Imagine having to explore Panacea, or like a burgeoning Pandician colony, while also taking on colonialism. If anyone can do it, I think Arcane probably could.
Probably, yeah. I'm looking for it.
Especially with Harvey Smith, and you know, they've had a good track record. They hired Hazel Morforton on for Death of the Outsider because she really got the Outsider as a character and a concept in a way that no one else really had, and she brought something to it. And then they hired on Kara Ellison as a writer in Dishonored 2, basically as like a lead writer, as a feminine voice, to help in writing Emily and making the world have better feminist praxis, in as much as you can for a early Victorian kind of fantasy world.
I never noticed they have a bunch of flammable oils and exploding darts right next to the blowfly nest to associate like these as the tools you use to take care of them.
Yes.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
To summarize what just happened for the people who haven't played this game before, which I don't think there's anyone in the chat, but just to be clear, in that room we just went in, I found a cure for Hypatia's madness that the doctor who she just killed was creating behind her back. He was missing one final ingredient, which was the blood of someone who was infected with the blowflies, which we added to the serum. And now that we have the complete counter serum, we can... Oh, no, I still have to burn it. I still have to actually mix it together. So we have to get out of here and go back to his office to create the serum actually in truth.
Yeah.
I forgot you have to actually do some medical science. Quote-unquote medical science.
E-call, yeah. There's actually something really cool, and if you look at some of the world maps for Dishonored, there's a potential, there's potential colonies or living peoples in a eastern part of Pandacia. It looks like it's a peninsula almost. So like it's far enough away from the centralized area, but it's also on the continent, if I remember correctly. It's very cool, and I would love to see them do something with that.
I feel like they kind of set it up in Death the Outsider, where like we're getting away from Dunwall and starting to explore our areas because Emily and Corvo's story is essentially done at this point.
Yeah, but I think they are also hinting at Tivia, because Tivia is a very icy region, but it's also part of the Empire of the Isle already.
It's ready.
And it's where they made mention of very explicitly that who's the not Piero,
Callista?
No, not Callista. Piero's other scientist, the guy he didn't
Sokolov.
like. Sokolov, yes. It's where Sokolov retired to after Dishonored 2.
Because I find it interesting that they chose to kill off a lot of the cast off screen. Like between Dishonored 1 and 2, Samuel died of old age, as did Piero, and Callista is now missing, nowhere to be found. She went off on a shipping expedition, never returned.
Ooh.
So
what about,
interestingly, they killed off most of the cast in between the two games.
Yeah. What happened to the girl in the page boy cap in Dishonored 1?
She is too insignificant to worry about. She's only a simple barmaid. But I think she lives in the ending. She's just not part of the story anymore.
Yeah, she had the plague and she was, but when you cure the plague, obviously that's not
She
gonna
gets the
matter.
plague in high chaos. In low chaos, she's fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
In low chaos, she gets like a minor cold instead of the plague.
Oh, okay.
But in high chaos, she's heavily implied to be affected with the plague. So, since we did the non-lethal, we don't have to actually fight her. We just had to do a sneak attack on her and then we win.
But hiding like a common thief. I might break your back and keep you alive for a while.
So something I don't like about Dishonored 2 with Emily's design,
Back to sleep.
she just has the mask. You got stuck on the light.
Yeah. Hey,
I don't like that she doesn't have at least a hood on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they only do that for the designs because they can't tell you straight up that Hypatia is the Crown Killer. That would break the entire the mission.
Something's not
No,
right
I mean for Emily.
Oh,
Maybe I
yeah.
concocted something working with infectious cells.
I
They
wish
could give her a
Emily
hood.
had a hood in
Someone
addition
was
to her face
poisoning you.
mask.
I don't
Like,
think
face
Corvo
mask
has a hood in
alone.
this game
I
either.
found
Like,
some
if you play the
alchemical
Corvo
notes and
version,
made a
he doesn't have a
counter
hood in his new
Listen,
costume.
Don't worry.
Yeah, but he's
I'm gonna
wearing
take
his
care of
mask
it.
at least.
Yeah, the
You need to
death
cover
Covering
mask.
his
my
whole
love for a
face.
few days. Come
Which,
find
by the
us.
way,
I'm staying
Emily's a
with
lot
an
more
ally in a
discreet
road
than
called the Dreadful
Corvo,
Way.
with her, pulling up her shirt.
But yeah,
And
'cause
like,
she can take it
oh,
off.
by the way, the Grim Reaper is here, guys. Don't worry about it. Corvo is such a fucking edgelord, doesn't even know it.
Well, it's like, you know, during the rat plague, it made sense. Oh, there's a fucking weirdo going around murdering people with a Grim Reaper mask on. Now it doesn't really make as much sense.
Also, I love that the Outsider is such a fucking troll to Corvo. If you play his version of the story, where
oh my
when
god, I didn't know that there were changes to their dialogue.
If you talk to the outside, when you know where the scene where you choose to set powers or not as Emily.
Mm-hmm.
If you play as Corvo, he goes, "Corvo, buddy, do I even need to say it? You lost another Empress."
Oh no.
It's like he is straight up trolling Corvo for his inability to protect the people who he's literally sworn by oath and by career to protect.
Yeah. I feel like both Emily and Corvo, at least in the first mission, like canonically, they would slaughter the fuck out of all the city guards. Which is what I do every time. It's like they've already lived through one interesting depose, and then in part two, like, there's no way either of them would be merciful there. Especially when all the good guards were killed, so you know for sure all the guards that are alive are turncoats.
I'll tear you to pieces.
Block that bullet.
Like, once you're actually in Karnaka, I think it's probably different, but like, in Dunwall, I'm pretty sure both of them would just murder the shit out of everyone.
I feel like...
Throw him over the edge, please throw him over the edge!
No, can't do that, it's lethal.
Oh, but you murdered people!
Try not to, though.
Just murder just one, just for me.
Hard times. Gotta be on the lookout.
What the? Throw him over the edge.
Now let's get the health potion back that I used up. And... Miss Megan Foster. Billy Reed. Or Billy Lurk.
Billy Reed? Who the fuck is Billy Reed?
I think I confused Megan Foster with Mary Reed, like the pirate, for a second in my mind. Which, you know, fair.
I'll lay low until you're finished. Can we leave this place yet? I don't like it. Ready now?
The Dreadful Whale.
Yes. Let's get back to the ship.
I still find it really cool that the name of her ship is like an anagram for Farewell Dowd.
Did you find Sokolov?
No, but Hypatia was the crown killer.
What? I don't believe you.
The Duke tricked her into injecting herself with a flawed version of her serum. It changed her, but there was an antidote.
I feel like
so she's
you
alive.
should at least let Hypatia join you on the boat ride.
She'll have to deal with that.
What about Sokolov?
Because like they do like
Give
come
him to a
back
man
and
named
drop and let her like
Kirin
hang out on the Dreadful Whale in between a couple
Everybody
missions
knows
if
him.
you spare
The
her.
grand inventor of Serkonos.
Then who's next? Let's hope Anton's all right.
Well, the reason they did that e-call for the people who watch this later on, the quest e-call made a comment about Corvo just kind of starting the game just murdering people. The reason they do that is because they're going off as canon the thing that the majority of players in Dishonored 1
Sokolov was
did,
Dunwall's genius.
which was low
He
chaos
transformed our
overall,
city
but
with his
some
inventions.
lethality.
Electricity for the factories and carriages racing
Yeah,
along above the
that's
streets.
generally the way I understood it too.
As I grew up,
They use
his buzzing
the
and
majority
glowing
of player
devices
experiences
kept
of
me
the canonical
safe.
one, and
His
that's why
stories
Dowd is
always
canonically
made
the
me
one that gets
giggle,
spared
and
because
his
they got
outrageous
DLC.
conversation shocked
That's why the
aristocrats
Lurk
and
is canonically
overseers
still
alike.
alive, is because canonically Dowd was also a low
Now,
chaos
all
run.
these years later,
with
Kirin
some
Jindosh
lethality.
is Karnaka's genius.
That's
A
why Delilah
mad
gets sealed.
inventor who has
because
given the
canonically,
Duke sinister
again, Dowd
machines
didn't
that
kill her, he
move
went
like
the long
people
option,
but
which
aren't.
we did in our run where we
Clockwork
kind of
soldiers
joined the
that
painting.
fight and
While
kill.
Delilah wasn't looking, which by the way, why wasn't she looking?
Got to find out where Sokolov's being held and bring the old man back alive.
Yeah,
Must be
you
one
missed the
genius
stream where we did
encage
the end
other
of the
before he creates an
the
army
Bring More
of clockwork
Witches,
soldiers.
where we basically just waited for Delilah to turn around, and then we just jumped in, switched the painting, and then jumped out, and then just sat there and waited for her to finish the ritual. There's a version of that where you knock her out and then finish the ritual on your own. And like Billy Madison has a whole the whole speech. He utters it. Like it's actually a pretty good version of the scene. We just had the one where Delilah has this look of disbelief in her face, like, oh my god, Dowd fucked me. And I didn't even look behind me, so I couldn't see it.
Which is hilarious considering the non-lethal version at the end of Dishonored 2.
I mean, it's a very much a callback in many ways.
I'm curious as to. So
Take care,
I know the explanation for how Delilah survived Knife of Dunwall.
She's a lot tougher than I expected.
So
Very
what I don't
capable.
understand is,
Am I being
if
dishonest?
non-lethal is canon for
Everybody's
Knife
got
of
secrets, I
Dunwall,
guess.
Right.
Maybe mine are
We
worse
didn't
than
kill
most.
her. We trapped her.
Correct.
But what they do in
Just
Dishonored
want
2
Anton
is they
back
don't
here,
release her
safe
from the
and
trap.
sound.
They revive
How did that
her
old fool
in a
come to
way.
mean so
I don't want
much
to say
to me?
how.
Yes and no.
What is it they say up
They
in Tibia?
revive her.
Watch the
What they
faces of
do is they
those who
bring her
bow
soul
most
back from the
deeply.
void, because that's where
Or
she was
such.
trapped, inside the void.
Mm-hmm.
So they find a way to release her from her prison, and that's like a soft revival.
I
You
guess
might
that
want
makes
to talk to
sense.
Hypatia
I,
before
it's
we
still
head
kind
out.
of fuzzy
Just
though. I
take
would
it
have liked something
stronger.
more definitive.
Just for a while,
Oh,
I think.
you're here.
What are you
Needed to be
doing?
away from Admire.
Dr.
I'm
Hypatia,
listening for. I'm waiting for Megan
can you
Foster to finish her
remember
dialogue.
anything that might help me?
Ah,
I need to find Anton Sokolov. He could be the key to unraveling the Duke's plans.
My memories are
Well,
distorted.
I wonder how you
about,
figure out it's Sokolov
The
if you don't
Duke
ever
is
talk to
close to
Hypatia.
his grand inventor, Kirin
Or
Jindosh.
that it's
But
Jindos that's
that man
Sokolov
has
right
the
now.
empathy of a mantis.
I don't
He
know.
seems to both
I never did
admire
that.
and
I
despise
always pressed
Sokolov. We visited Aramis.
Yeah, I've never
Stilton,
actually killed Hypatia,
I
so I
liked
don't know
him.
what would happen in that.
but
Well, I mean, I did
Something bad
kill her
happened.
once, but I didn't stick around to find out how it played out. I just
Just
kind of wanted to
snatches of
see like
memory.
how that boss fight would go.
sorry.
You should rest easy for a while. Maybe some of that will help.
I hope so. I'm not sure I even fully understand what you did for me, but I owe you for
Also, love she
helping me
brings
at
with her a
Admire.
full stock of mana
Yeah.
potions here for you.
What I don't love is that you can't take them all.
Well, you
Megan must
can.
be
It's
up on
just
deck.
that I'm topped off.
Well, that's what I mean.
Oh, yeah,
You
okay.
can't carry them all at once. If I remember, Dishonored 1 didn't have a cap.
No, it was 10. It was 10 in Dishonored 1 as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was 10 in both games. I played Dishonored 1 more than I played Dishonored 2. Actually, I've played Dishonored 1 like 6 times.
I haven't played Dishonored 1 since the DLC came out, so...
Yeah,
Like,
I've played that game all sorts of ways.
Oh, I did too. I spent hundreds of hours in Dishonored 1, but like... I also haven't played it in years because I kind of exhausted everything I could do in it.
Yeah, and also, like... The sequels are better. As they should
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. I mean, I still... Is it just me, or is like something about the way the characters control, the way the mouse feels in Dishonored 2 and Death of the Outsider feels... I don't want to say tighter, because tighter implies it's better, but like...
Ramsey and the
less...
Crown Killer.
A
Two
little more
pieces of the
strict,
puzzle.
maybe?
A little more
More to go.
strict is probably what I'd say.
Oh, is this crank wheel for later? No. Attach the crank wheel. So where is the crank wheel?
Other side. On the left side.
This is the kind of thing where, like, I would, like, if I wasn't on stream, I would turn on objective markers for, like, a second and then do it. Oh, there. There we go. Like, this is, like, the one part of the run where I would turn on objective markers just to remember where the crank wheel, thing is. There we go. Now the ship is one day further away from being destroyed completely by that by lack of repair and maintenance.
God, what? Something I really love about this and Death of the Outsider is on these ship sections you can just go out on the deck and look around at the skybox, and the ocean, the water is incredible in Dishonored 2 and Dishonored Death of the Outsider.
I also like how it kind of implies that like Billy Lurk is barely hanging in there because like she clearly is not able to maintain this ship without help.
Yeah. I mean, no one can maintain a ship without help, so...
Yeah. And so she's doing the best she can with the tools she's got.
Yeah.
I like that, I like that they actually talk about the fact that, like, unlike Emily and Corvo, who kind of are well, Corvo wasn't born into wealth, Corvo grew into wealth from his relationship with the Empress. Whereas those two kind of have everything they need. Billy Lurk does not. Like, Billy Lurk is one of the lower class.
Yeah, she stole, killed, and earned everything she got.
Although, like, paradoxically, even though she is literally a cold-blooded killer, she almost has more honor in her than, like, the wealthy people of this universe.
Oh, of course.
Because, like, she's at least honest about who she is and what she does.
Yeah. And she doesn't, like, do it just for money. She does it
Let's
because
hope your
she
friend
thinks she's
doesn't sink the
actually
boat while
making a
we're
change.
gone.
She does it to survive.
Ready?
To some extent as well. Like, to
Well,
some
yeah,
extent,
because
it's
she was
just
an
to
assassin.
it's just to,
All right,
to
let's
eat
get
for
underway.
a day, for one more day than you
Yeah.
would otherwise.
Yeah. But, like, also, it's mentioned that, after Dishonored Knife of Dunwall, there is a change in her character in that she's clearly going around trying to
Jindosh
live an
is
honest
important
life,
to the
not
Duke's
as an
inner
assassin,
circle.
but
Yeah.
The
she
Grand
still
Guard
goes
watches
out,
his
she
mansion,
still
and they'll call down the
went out
entire
on
city
missions
if they
and did
find out
shit.
who you are.
like
I'll
how
make
she
sure
lost
they
her
don't.
eye and arm, which I
Yeah.
don't
You
think
said
fits
there's a wall
further.
of light
She
cutting
lost
across
the
the
eye and
carriage
arm trying to
station?
defend somebody.
Yes,
Exactly.
but
So
there's
like
a
she's
black
got
market
honor
shop
in her,
nearby.
but she's
They sell on
like
the
that's
sly.
always who she's been. She only
Ever
betrayed
use a
Dodd
rewiring
because
tool?
she
Corvo taught
thought
me the theory.
she'd
Good.
fallen in with a bad
Get
crowd,
past the
obviously,
wall of
but also
light,
because
then ride the carriage
she
to
was
where
led to
Jindosh
believe it
lives.
was survival of the fittest,
And there's a reason
and
people are afraid
she
of his
thought
mansion.
He was no longer fit.
I'll get
And
it
then
done.
she
To
was
some
given-
extent, though, with
Emily,
her
take
relationship
care of
with
this
Dowd,
crazy
like,
man
to
and
some
his
extent,
clockwork soldiers, then bring
Dowd
Sokolov back.
is the only
He
person
means
who
a lot to
ever
me.
gave her a fair shot.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why she still follows him and still like believes in him even long after the fact that she has betrayed him and has kind of come to terms with that fact.
Yeah. What I like is, in a lot of ways, I think her relationship with Dowd is meant to sort of be like the one between Garrett and Thief and the keeper he followed.
Yeah.
And then the one with the young girl at the end of Thief 3, who they tried to follow up with in Thief 4, but not really.
Except this is more interesting.
Yeah, obviously. but my point is that like I think it's very much an intentional callback because if I remember correctly, she tried to steal from Dowd and then Dowd gave her a job.
Yeah.
Once he caught her, which is very much.
Well, yeah,
the way
just like how
became a
Garrett got
thief.
his training, the keeper training.
Yes, exactly.
Which is when but unlike Garrett, who repurposed training meant to keep order for his own selfish gains, Billy Lurk's training was inherently kind of dishonest in a way because it was assassin's training.
Yes, and then she later repurposed it for helping people and righting wrongs, whether that is assassination or whether it's other things.
See, this is the stuff that I really like about Dishonored. I like the background lore. Like, I like the story behind Billy Lurk and Dowd. I like the story behind the Empress and Corvo. Those are all really interesting tales.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that they don't get represented enough in the actual games themselves. In my opinion.
I think they're good, but also I think they could definitely do with less backgrounding and more like being more explicit about it.
Yeah.
They probably took
Also,
him
they
parts,
tried to do a
and it
thing
has
with
never worked since.
Billy Lurk being gay in Death of the Outsider, but it didn't really work out. It felt kind of hollow.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree to that. I took the wrong power. I took Doppelganger when I meant to take a Shadow Walk. That's unfortunate. Oh well.
Also,
Playing
sorry
Runes
for
around.
future spoilers, I guess.
But yeah, they do a lot with that character. Even in this game, they do a lot with Billy Lurk to kind of show you what's happened with her in the meantime.
Mm-hmm. Which is great because he was the best character of the original game of there should be, if you go back, there should have been with
burning oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really bad at looking for that because I historically have never done that in my runs.
I kind of I tried to do my best to like get
Shit. Fucking die. Alright, I think we're good.
E-call, what do you mean it's the reason she hates the current ruler of Karnaka? You mean do you mean the dumb mayor dude who's basically Kronk, or do you mean the Duke of Serkonos, you mean?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure. I didn't know the
Yeah,
Duke hated lesbians. That's a fact that,
Yeah.
that I just learned about apparently 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, I never noticed that at all during the course of the story. I must have missed that. I didn't realize there was actually discrimination in this world. Well, not discrimination at all, but more,
like discrimination specifically in a high upper echelon society.
Yeah, specifically like institutional LGBT discrimination addressed it all in this world, because in general it kind of just is silent on that and on the policies of ruling, because like we never know whose policies are what. It never goes into the politics of it at all, which is really kind of shitty.
Yeah, they talk in broad strokes about how like Emily is kind of an absentee ruler. Like she is technically the Empress, but she by and large doesn't do any ruling of herself. She kind of leaves it to the people in each region. She doesn't take a hands-on approach at all.
Yeah.
Which is a problem that she gets called out on very frequently throughout the story.
Yes, very much so. And it feels like they never address that. It really does feel like they never address the fact that she's an absentee ruler.
She does promise in the Low Chaos run to be a more hands-on ruler, to take the people, to listen to the people and to actually enact policies in their favor. But
yeah, but that's just in general. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's broad strokes. It's broad strokes as fuck.
I wish they would be more specific. Like, in this society, is being queer bad? Is there institutional racism? Because we kind of don't see that at all. So, like, okay, presumably Empire of the Isles does not have a problem with race. But it does clearly have a problem with colonialism, in that it's got an issue with people constantly trying to go to the Pandician continent and establish colonies there, but we also don't even know if there are even people on the main Pandician continent. We have an idea there might be.
Wait, where is he? He's somewhere close.
And I would again like to see very specific takes on that.
You don't stand a chance.
And I think Arcane could do it if they set their mind to it, but again, I want them to be more specific in, like, they call Delilah a... They generally treat Delilah as a fascist, while they treat Emily as being irresponsible.
Don't have time for games.
Delilah doesn't really do anything.
There's a real undercurrent to Dishonored of the upper class being completely worthless.
Absolutely.
In one way or another, either they are bad rulers, they're incompetent rulers, or even the good ones tend to be completely woefully inept at their jobs.
In that same vein, E-Call mentions that it's not that the Duke of Serkonos hates lesbians, it's that the Duke's brother killed her lover, which I never caught that. Is that the same lover that Billy mentions in Death of the Outsider? And if so, does it mention how and why he killed her? Like, was it like a hate crime? Was it, just indifference that he killed her? Like,
knowing Harvey Smith, I'm willing to bet it's more like she was porn in a way.
Yeah, very probably. And
just not like, I don't mean that flippantly, but like that's one of his big social issues is discrimination. Like, I don't know if you guys see a spirit kind of
economic
he's very on about that.
Yeah, no, he's very much a leftist, and I very much appreciate it. I would just like more discussion of Entirely Isle politics and policies as such. Like, this is clearly a monarchy. How does that affect this world? We clearly imply that monarchy is good in some way. Is this a representative monarchy? Is this a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want more of the day-to-day politics of this world.
Hold on, though.
I want to know. Okay.
Wolfhounds cannot smell you.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a keeper right there.
Yes, Wolfhounds can't smell you is very good.
Yeah. I think I was talking about these games, and I'll talk about it during the last stream, but I'll mention it again because it's an interesting topic. I like that Arcane doesn't run away from politics in their games.
Yes.
Like, especially like in the era of the Ubisoft, the Division's just a game about being in DC and fighting terrorists. It's not politics. Like, they obviously are. They're not trying to throw a message down your throat, but like Harvey Smith and his team are really good at acknowledging that like their politics are going to color their games. That's just the way it's going to be.
And I love that. I just want them to go further with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so rad that they own it. It's so rad that they try.
Which, you gotta give them credit for, even though, like, you're right, they could go further into that, but at least they do something when so many other TOs are so content to say, oh, we just want you to think.
We just wanted to start a conversation about dragging a black woman out into a street and shooting her in the head.
Like, I called Harvey Smith once, like, a long time ago when Dishonored 1 was out, about how kind of juvenile I thought the chaos system was, and that, like, killing is automatically bad.
Thank God it's going in Death of the Outsider. It's the worst.
Then he responded, like, in a way that I kind of appreciate. We're like, no, we just think that you shouldn't be killing people wantonly, and I think that's, like, not a bad message to throw around. Like, okay, fair. I can respect that that is your viewpoint.
You come in. I bet this one's carrying coin.
So, back to the Duke thing. They were near the Duke's carriage and found the brothers thieved, and the brother smashed the lover's skull in. Billy, in turn, killed the brother. Which is rad. Seriously rad. But also, was that in Death of the Outsider? I remember it kind of being. But was that in Dishonored 2 as well? Like, was that mentioned?
I don't know. It's actually been a long time since I played the game, where I've gotten that far in the game.
Yeah. But no, like, I don't disagree with, we want to discourage you being lethal, but I think they go about it backwards. They should do it like Metal Gear Solid does it. In Metal Gear, at least before 5, you were typically scored in the game, and you would receive, the higher your score, you would receive more bonuses, more unlocks, etc. You would want to get a higher score, obviously, and you do that by being non-lethal, not getting seen, etc. So the way Kojima and Metal Gear does it is, if you're non-lethal, it rewards you. But if you do go lethal, it doesn't punish you. It just says, we're not going to reward that. You got caught, you murdered people. That's kind of fucked up. And so, I think Dishonored should probably do the same, where it rewards you for being non-lethal to incentivize playing non-lethally, as opposed to punishing lethal play because, you killed some dudes. The world is materially worse off because you subtracted people from it.
I don't
Which,
know
like,
if it was intentional or not, because a lot of that non-lethal stuff in Dishonored 1 was literally like a last minute, oh, we realized people want to play this game non-lethally, so I guess we gotta add some tools to it.
Yeah.
But it kind of had this interesting idea where, like, being lethal was easy. Being lethal is the easy way out. Like, you can obviously easily kill a ton of people. Like, that shouldn't be, that's not hard. But being able to do the same thing without doing a lot of kills, that takes skill.
Yes.
I find that's an interesting, like, comment where, like, having power makes taking lives significantly easier than sparing them.
I think that's interesting. I just don't like the function of it as a morality. You know what I mean?
Fair. That I can respect, because the morality in that game is, like, I'll defend Dishonored up and down, the chaos system, let it go. It's fine. That just dies.
I get the idea that you want to encourage that power comes with responsibility, and that when you have power, you want to discourage use of that power, i.e. killing. But at the same time, like,
it's not fun. At the end of the day, it's just not fun.
It's not even that. It's that, like, sometimes power does need to be wielded violently. And that's not a good thing, but it is a reality.
Yeah.
It's like...
But I do like the idea of using your power carefully and not abusing it.
Oh, of course. I think that's brilliant. I absolutely agree with that.
Because I don't know how to express that in a way that's mechanically consistent. Like, I'm not a designer, so I'm just spitballing here. I don't have a good, elegant solution to solving the problem, just acknowledging it as a problem.
I'll have to unlock the gate.
I think mechanically, like I said, instead of punishing lethality, you reward non-lethality. I think that's how you do it. But at the same time, I think in that way, you also lose that,
Give me a handful of the clockworks and
I think in doing so, while I think that makes for a better gameplay experience, you also probably lose that thematic resonance in that you are not incentivizing non-lethal play out of
respect.
Respect and responsibility. You're encouraging out of, oh, you are going to be materially rewarded for not being lethal.
One thing I like is that they do justify why Chaos isn't in Death of the Outsider by saying that Billy Lurk is not, like, she's not a person that's of great power. Like, she's a great person of physical power, but in terms of political and influential power, she has none. She is a nobody, essentially, in terms of the world state. So as a result, like, what she can realistically do to affect the people around her is limited. And that's why she doesn't have any chaos.
Yes, but they also said that they believe that it's also an extension of her beliefs, and that Billy Lurk believes that, like I do, sometimes people have to die. Sometimes that is the best or only option. That sometimes people have to die, and sometimes it's their time, and that's okay.
Yeah, I find that to be really interesting in that, like, with Corvo and Emily, your morality is kind of like, what their moral beliefs are malleable, depending on how you play. Whereas Billy Lurk's character is very set in stone by the time you get to her. Like, we've been through 3 games with her as a big character in them. At this point, we know who she is. And she is a good person. Not necessarily a nice person, but a good person. Oh. Out of that fucking room, please. Okay, you know what? This is what they made Domino for.
So, Ecall mentions that that bit about Billy Lurk and her lover being killed by the Duke of her lover being killed by the Duke of Serkonos' brother, which she killed in turn. That's on a recorder in her room at the end of the game. That's the message you get, apparently.
I know I know the message where it's Dowd talking about how he saved Emily at the end of the Brickmore Witches. I know that one, but I don't know that particular message about her lover. That I've never actually heard.
Exactly. I don't remember that one. I do remember the Dowd one though.
Wait, a little tank's already empty.
I like that when you take the whale oil tank out, it does actually alert the guards. I actually do like that. That's pretty cool. Guards like, hey, this is supposed to be on. That's a problem.
So, in Dishonored 1, it was heavily hinted that Wales and the Outsider might actually be... That the Outsider might actually be a whale of some sort.
Yeah, which they retconned.
They hard retconned. But I actually liked the idea. I don't know, I liked it. I liked the idea that,
I like that idea, but I like the story they actually went with better.
Oh, absolutely. Going with Omelas is much better than Cosmic Whale, but Cosmic Whale was an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of things in this world are linked to the Void. I was talking about this during the stream, a couple streams back where we were playing the Knife of Dunwall, where, like, it's fascinating that this is a world where, like, people don't worship the god, they worship a crusade against the god. Like this is not a monotheistic society, this is a anti-theistic society. Like, these are people who oppose the god of this universe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, it's very much the people who walk away, the ones who walk away from Omelas. That's the whole point of it. The Outsider is just a scapegoat.
And I hope they build on that cult. And, oh, come on! I hope they build on that cult a bit more in future Dishonored games, assuming we ever get them.
Yes, that would be very cool. I desperately hope there's a Dishonored 3 in the works. Harvey Smith transferred to Arcane Austin after Dishonored 2. As far as I know, he actually didn't do too much work on Death of the Outsider. He left it to Hazel, who, you know, as I mentioned, was hired on because of the way she wrote about the Outsider and Omelas. But what I'd love to see is Arcane Austin being secretly working on Dishonored 3. I would love to see that because they made Prey, and presumably, I don't know if they made Mooncrash or if Arcane Leon made Mooncrash.
I need to use Down more often. It's a really fucking good power. Being able to link multiple guards together to take them out all at once is a really, really good power that I need to use more of.
Well, okay, it was like, what, 4 years between Dishonored and Dishonored 2? So theoretically, we might see Dishonored 3, assuming it's in active production, by 2020?
Well, they also did a lot of post-game for Dishonored 2. Like, they did a lot of post-game support with the new game plus, also added later. Which they also did something similar with Prey, where Prey now has new game plus, like, and it was half a year after it came out. Like.
So 2022 is what you're saying.
Yeah. So it might be a while, but like, I'm okay with waiting that long. Like this game is infinitely is obscenely replayable.
Absolutely. What I'd love to see is What I want to see is, I want to see a Dishonored 3, like I mentioned, set in or near on Pandacia, following a character who isn't nobility.
I just want them to just keep the Bro Lurks for a bit. Or like have a friend of hers that like or like have a friend of hers where she like that she knew, so that she can be like the mentor for a new hero maybe. I don't know.
Yes. But I would like to see some. I would like to see it tackle colonialism in an intelligent and compassionate way. Yeah. It is not just the same fluff we always get with it. But I also think having just the lead writer being a white guy would also be pretty bad for that. So I'd like to see them actually bring some people on who are knowledgeable about the subject. Maybe some indigenous writers or
Someone just heard
you know,
possibly
people of
from
color or
like
something.
India too, like some writers who were like
Well,
who were knowledgeable in Indian history because of Indian colonialism with the British.
I mean, the British colonized fucking everyone. That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they colonized, they did Hong Kong. There was Africa in the early 19th century, or late 18th, early 19th century.
Some African voices, some Indian voice. And I made the mistake of saying African when, like, I don't know the countries in Africa. I'm a product of America.
Oh.
My geography is terrible. But
If
that
I
people make
remember,
that
it
mistake
was-
of like associating Africa as like this monolith when it's fucking not that.
Well, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
It is a continent, not a nation. So, but in general, like there was a large colonialist drive in the 1800s and early 1900s to exploit Africa for its people and its natural resources, largely British, and I think the slave trade was British, of course, but if I remember correctly, it's also largely Dutch. But I would like to see some interesting takes on that in this world. Maybe just kind of addressing that, because obviously this game, yeah. Because I mean, the way this game works and the way its world works and everything is very much early 19th century, late 18th century. Obviously with magic and set in a different world, but it has set the bones up for that kind of plot. I'd like to see them go there. Because I don't see how you explore Pandysia without bringing that up.
Wait, I'll have a look
But I
over
also
there.
really want them to explore Pandysia.
I'm also just like I just generally want to see what their ideas are for the next Dishonored, like because I wasn't expecting them to kind of go into this with Dishonored 2. Like I didn't expect to see Dishonored 2 at all, period, frankly. So like I just want to see what more they have to offer in like in terms of what they want to do with this universe. There's a lot to this universe that they could easily get into.
If I remember correctly, one of the rumored Dishonored 2 titles was The Darkness of Tivia.
What?
Which is weird.
Yoink. Take your bullet. I was waiting for your bullets. Coins would be fine too, I guess. Nice.
Someone there. Ah! How did you do that? You won't get away. Come back here. You aren't going anywhere.
Beg for mercy. No use running. He's out of ammunition. Let go. I'll tear you to pieces.
Fuck. Parried wrong. Huh. Oh well.
I never got the hang of parrying in Dishonored.
It's a little finicky. Honestly, the combat in general is a little finicky.
Yeah.
But this is an amazing stealth game.
So, the Clockwork Mansion is very cool.
It is like this is the designers kind of like having a game design masturbation session. Like this is, I mean that in the best way possible. Like I don't know if we'll actually get inside the manor proper today, because we're kind of almost at the end of the stream, but it's a really cool area. just as in general, like this, the idea of this like mansion whose very halls are subject to change.
I'm bored. I wonder who that was.
As you were. Where did I put that thing?
Isn't it laundry day yet?
So
Gotta
did you
be
like?
soon. Can't stand my own stench.
Did you like the Clockwork Mansion better, or did you like the level later? You know the level I'm talking about. I don't want to mention it because it's a spoiler.
Yeah, you mean which one I like more?
Yes.
Oh, fuck, that's a hard choice.
You little shit.
I think I would actually probably, say Clockwork Mansion. But, like, that's a really tough call.
I'm the opposite, personally.
I say I like it more because I feel like cracking the slab adds a new mechanic, which is not a bad thing. But out of the two, I like the idea of truly playing around with mechanics that are already built into the game more than I do the idea of adding a new mechanic for a single level and then never using it again.
You know, Bella is a...
Yes.
But
well,
like
I
that's
think it's cool because a crack in the slab is basically a prototype for Prey's Looking Glass. I'm not going to
Why
explain
should
how
I
or
trust
why,
someone who hides their face?
but it's very cool. And I think it was literally them saying, "Hey, Arcane Austin, pretty cool tech you got there. Mind if we repurpose it?" And it does it in a way that even I think Prey never really gets away with, even though it could have if it wanted to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I like calling them Looking Glass because that's literally a reference to Looking Glass Studios.
You
Yes.
have
You
to
bet.
understand.
I think that's really cool. They reference
If you don't go, and don't come
Looking
back.
Glass just like right in the name of one of the technologies in Prey.
So there's literally a room in Prey called
What's
the
going on
Looking
here?
Glass Studio.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, I think that's also really cool.
That's great. I actually saw it the other day while I was finishing up Prey yesterday for the first time. I finished it yesterday.
Oh, you finished it? Nice.
I'm gonna start Moon Crash I think tomorrow. I was gonna do it today, but I haven't felt very good. But when I finished it, I was running around cleaning up everything, and I walked into a room I hadn't been in before, and it was called the Looking Glass Studio, and I just sat there for a minute. Those motherfuckers.
Isn't it great?
It's great.
Unfortunate crap. Bright Moon. It's more damage, lasts half as long. Comes the assassin. Armored bones.
E-Call, it really is cool seeing that.
Yeah. And I can't wait to get to that level. Like I don't know if I don't think you'll be around. I don't know how. I don't know if we'll come back and do more. Gwen in the stream.
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah.
But in general, like a crack in the slab is so cool.
That's a fucking fascinating level. And so like technologically, in terms of gameplay, in terms of the story of that level, there's so much going on there. Oh my god.
Have they done a GDC roundtable about how they did that?
If
I wanna
they
know how they
did,
did
I'm
it.
not aware of it.
So everyone keeps telling me that E-Call. I'm gonna play it, I think, tomorrow. But I have a lot of issues with Prey. I think Prey is a brilliant game, and I like it a lot. But I actually have a lot of issues with the way Prey worked out. Narratively, world-wise, mechanically, in a way that I just don't with Dishonored. So I'm really hoping that Moon Crash fixes those. Also, that was a bullshit death.
Yeah, holy shit. I feel robbed.
You were robbed of a life. Your own.
Oh, come on! I would be able to make this easy with Blink. This would be so fucking easy.
Oh my god, that is just really bad.
At least the save is right there, so I can just try again.
Do you have any runes to just upgrade far reach?
I just used them all to get my shadow form. Oh, no. Okay, okay. Phew. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, that works. That's good. We're good. We're good.
Oh. Wow. You must,
you know what?
yourself.
I also love that you don't even need the code. Like, the game tells you can use the code to unlock the station, but you can just blink around.
Mm-hmm.
Sneak in through a different way. Like, I didn't know about this until I made my way out of the mansion the first time. I didn't even know this whole, like, Thieves Highway-esque thing over here existed. That's really fucking rad. Yeah, you're right, momentum deaths are the worst you call, and that's the problem with Far Reach, is that, like, when you know how to work the momentum to get it just right, it's amazing. When you don't, you get a ton of unnecessary momentum deaths.
So, when you know how to use Far Reach correctly, and I, for the life of me, have never figured it out, but I've seen it done, Far Reach basically works as a grappling hook and a launcher.
Yeah.
And so you can launch yourself across the entire map if you know how to use it right, but unless you know how to use it right, you're gonna fucking kill yourself.
So Kirin Jindosh is a very smart man. The problem is that he knows it.
Alright, I need to eliminate Jindosh and find Anton Sokolov.
He's Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
And the non-lethal way of taking care of Jindosh is how I would like to take care of Elon Musk.
Okay, we're not going to get to it today, because we're already running close to time, but let's at least get this started. I love this.
So, are you gonna do the rat in the wall?
Build something like this, and why?
I'm more like an Emily in the walls, but yes.
There's a way to get through ignoring any coal lovers. How do you manage that? I've never done that. Also, I love.
What the fuck is going on up there? Are the Clockwork Soldiers fighting each other up there?
I think they're murdering guards.
Wow.
Oh, it's trying to attack you through the floor. I get it.
Okay, that's fine.
I challenge you to come find me. Take whatever you seek, but all along the way, and I'll have your body carried to my lab for dissection. In part, I made this place for luxury and spectacle, I suppose. But
So if I remember correctly, you have to pull the lever again, get on one of the side platforms, and then you can jump up through the gap on the side.
Or I could get smushed in the level.
Or you could get smushed in the level.
Death has taken you.
Where is it taking me?
I do like that, like, you can go through this level without Jindosh ever detecting you, and that's a beautiful sight to behold.
Oh, the space behind the walls.
I didn't manage that. I got close because I did the thing where I pulled the lever, went under, and then, you know, got through the level without him ever seeing you. But I did have to pull the levers. I did have to pull the one lever just to get under here. I didn't know that you could shoot at a skylight and do that without pulling the lever. If you pull one lever and then jump it down, he tries to welcome you and then realize, oh, there's no one there.
Yeah, that's what I usually get when I start off is the, oh, wait, where did he go?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, oh shit. Shit. Okay, we'll figure this out. Like, something along those lines.
Yes.
But in Jindosh speak.
I don't think I've ever gone across the bridge.
Sounds like someone's in the building. Should we wake the clockwork?
It'll wake up on its own if a fight breaks out. They're blind, but they can still hear.
Creepy to know they might be listening to us.
Even now, the clockwork mansion still kind of breaks my brain.
No more than an audiograph machine.
Like, I couldn't for the life of me picture what it looks like inside.
Sounds of your breathing anymore, but it seems like a reasonable guess that somehow you've gotten beyond the inner walls of the house.
Maybe when the weather turns, I'll have my man plant tomatoes. Grow well. Stand clear!
You know how you can, like,
bringing up
remember
the
the layouts of buildings and stuff in the games off the top of your head? I can do that with any level in this game, except for the Clockwork Mansion, because of the way it is.
Let the clockwork soldier deal with it. Now your command.
Well, back to combat protocols.
I never claimed to be a good video gamer.
No use running. You wanna get away?
Uh-oh. That was a pylon.
That didn't go according to plan.
I forget, how do they explain the, oops, dead.
How they explain the what?
How do they explain that the pylons of light don't actually kill the guards?
They have an IFF system.
Well, yes, I got that much, but I mean, like, what is the... Is there, like, a specific explanation? Do they carry something on their person?
I believe they do have,
Should we wake the clockwork?
I don't know. I don't think that... I think it's just kind of science it away. The explanation of science.
I would have liked it if it was an explanation, oh, they carry a specific crystal on their person, and then you could, like, get a crystal that only survives a couple times. That way, you know, you can, like, survive a hit by one of those. Or, like, what if it was a mandatory path in one of the puzzles? You can't get rid of the thing. You can't, like, turn it off or rewire
So this is
it.
how it works.
So instead, what you have to do is, you have to get one of the pins that allows you not to die from one of the guards. Except the guard's gonna be an asshole.
Stand clear! I'm bringing up the arc pylon!
Alright, so... we're making progress.
So how is E-Call, when you shoot out one of the skylights, is it in the first room that there's skylights?
There is a break-in. I hope the clock
I don't know.
deal with it quickly.
Yeah, because I don't know how you would get out of that first room without being seen by anyone or anything.
Keep us waiting.
To a point where you could get through a skylight somewhere.
Whatever he likes. Besides, you're rich enough to afford a
Oh, there's a lever up top here. If you want to pull it, it'll move their room around and fuck with them.
took over the silver mines.
Lower wages means higher profits, but it's...
We're moving at last, but where is Judosh?
This guard is sleeping, so... let's wake up.
I always have a use for those who seek to pilfer from my home or who wish me harm. My assessment chamber has plenty of room for new test subjects, and you'll be in good company since the infamous inventor Anton Sokolov is there now, residing comfortably, much to my amusement.
So, the reason that Jindosh has kidnapped Sokolov is because he believes that Sokolov can be useful to him in perfecting the design of the Clockwork Soldiers.
Yeah.
Because Sokolov's a smart dude. Jindosh is a smart dude. They figure smart dude, get double smart dude.
So, what I don't like is, the original design of the Clockwork Soldier was that mask you saw in the shelf over there.
Yeah.
It was like a half-smiling head. And apparently... yeah. Apparently they were so creepy, that they had to remove them because people were getting freaked out by them.
What?
During the beta tests. If I remember correctly. So they gave them the bird mounts instead, which suck.
I kind of like the bird mouth design better. I'm also of the opinion that face is fucking creepy.
I know. I love it. I love it being creepy. Like, that's the point. They are clockwork soldiers. Of course they should be creepy.
I also like that you can, like they exist almost primarily so that people who play non-lethally still have a reason to use lethal play.
Yes.
Which I think is really cool that they thought that far ahead.
So
this is how it
I just remembered one of the aborted plot lines of Before the Fourth.
Stand clear. I'm bringing up the arc pylon.
Is that there was going to be a weird automaton army. And you actually see it going down to the final section in that game. But that never actually occurs. Like, there's nothing supporting it. It's like one of the weird cobbled together plot ideas that comprise that game. It just never goes anywhere. I wonder if the Clockwork Soldiers were in any way, maybe like Arcane saying, "Ha, we can do that better." Or maybe if it's just a coincidence. The setting, obviously.
Now, stormed out. But I must have.
This is honestly making me want to kind of replay the fourth.
What? Help me! Someone! Anyone! Someone! Protect me!
Alright, and I think this is actually a good place to stop.
Be careful. This was devised to test the limits of the Clockwork Soldiers. Quite dangerous.
Starting on the next episode, we will confront Kirin Jindosh and rescue Sokolov. Until next
Probably
time, guys.
not in that order.
What?
I said probably not in that order.
Yeah, probably not in that order. Actually, maybe exactly in that order. Because...
Hey!
Okay.
Where do you think you're
Well,
going?
it's been fun. Thank you for having me. And everyone in the audience, have a great night.
You too.
She's dead!
Take care, guys. Until next time.